What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to the Minute channel. Today we have a different kind of video here. So we're just gonna go studying some facts and maybe hopefully giving you some additional information about soul hackers. Now, I know a lot of you guys seen the soul hackers trailer, but now you can see it on the screen right now. And while I was kind of just watching through the comments and reading everything, there seems to be a lot of questions about what Soul Hackers as a series is, and I understand all the confusion for everything. There's a lot of miscommunication between Atlas and Japan and Atlas West and the naming and everything like that, and I know it can be incredibly confusing to say the least as far as to finding out what is going on in this universe. So to kind of give you some perspective of what Soul Hackers is, or Brother Acer, Devil Summoner. So as you can see, there is a lot of monikers, a lot of names that carry with every series. For example, you have Persona, and Persona in the West, at least it had the Shin Megami Tensei name, and when you look at the title for Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers in something like the West, it has Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, and then it's a mouthful. That is a really big kind of like a name to put on anything. So what is all this? So first of all, kind of breaking it down. So Devil Summoner is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei, which doesn't actually have the Shin Megami Tensei name in the title, at least not the latest the latest games that came out. Only in Japan, I'm sorry, only in the West does it have the Shin Megami Tensei game. And as some of you guys may know, this happens because the West didn't know how to advertise this series as a whole, so they put the Shin Megami Tensei name because Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne was I think one of the most famous games, I think in the West at the time, and they saw that Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne sold really well, and they really wanted to have that. Hey, look, this game is connected to this way in some kind of way. So every game that was coming out in the West at the time was having the Shin Megami Tensei subtitle, even if it really wasn't part of the Shin Megami Tensei timeline or the Shin Megami Tensei universe as a whole, just kind of tied together with the demons and that kind of stuff and everything. So you'll see that a lot in a lot of these games. However, as far as we know, Devil Summoner is kind of like a spin-off series, very much to Persona, a spin-off series. In fact, Devil Summoner and Persona do share the timeline in like the broader aspect of what happens in events in the game. They actually are together by timeline. Now, Soul Hackers is a spin-off of Devil Summoner. To make it more confusing and kind of even trying to digest more of that, Soul Hackers is kind of another series within Devil Summoner. Think of something like the Persona dancing games and Persona, is spin-off of the other one. So spin-off was a spin-off kind of thing. So Soul Hackers is now a game that's been out for a minute now. The original one was released on Sega Saturn in 1997, and it got a re-release back in 2013, and this re-release was done for the 3DS, and it was not necessarily super successful numbers or anything like that, which is why I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do with this one. So Soul Hackers as a whole, it's kind of interesting as a series. So is Devil Summoner series, because they follow at least Devil Summoner, it follows a particular kind of more interesting aspects. It's more like cops and the kind of detective following a thing. I'm sure if you guys seen the Devil Summoner games, like the Raido games, for example, it does follow the Raido Kuzunoha and a family of detectives and that kind of stuff. So it's more like having the detective and solving a crime kind of thing. And of course, it's a supernatural crime, and you use your demons to solve that crime and everything like that. And that's pretty much what Devil Summoner is. Soul Hackers is more of a tech kind of, it's like same kind of things, like a hacker group. And they're trying to do a thing, and like that kind of stuff. So it's interesting because it is connected to Devil Summoner, but it actually has its own kind of thing. And you can see by the trailer of the new game that we've seen that it does have that kind of similar vibe of like trying to save the world, but not necessarily the straightest people and everything. So interesting stuff there. I don't really have much on the Soul Hackers side of things because again, this hasn't really been much in the series or anything. If you look at the first game versus the second game, it is very, very much a really different kind of game. I know a lot of you guys have commented. I'm like, well, what do you think this game is gonna be about, or how do you think this game compared to the last one and everything? Honestly, it's just really different. Like if you look at the trailers and the artwork and the music and everything that we've seen, it doesn't really seem like there's much of a connection. Now, there may be a connection that we don't know about as far as like the timelines and what's going on and everything like that, but it does seem to be a very different kind of game. I know a lot of you have been curious as far as like how this is tied into the other game, or like, do I need to play the first one? I don't think, as far as we know, you don't really have to do that. Just like any of the Shin Megami Tensei games or the Persona games, you can just jump. It's a new cast, and the remaster for Soul Hackers, the original one, which the remaster on the 3DS, it featured new characters and new content. It really just like added a bunch of stuff and everything. And it's still one of those things where like you really see all this stuff and you're like, hey, I actually find it kind of appealing. It's a different genre, if you will, of RPG. Like every single series in the Shin Megami Tensei series, on the Megaten series, has a really wide variety of different things that they do. For example, this one is more of like cyberpunk, futuristic kind of vibes and everything. That's what the Soul Hacker series is. Honestly, like if you've seen some of the Devil Summoner stuff from like the 80s or even the 90s with Raito, it's more like a different era altogether. Persona obviously has like the modern stuff, and then Shin Megami Tensei is like kind of all over the place as like a main series, also kind of modern but futuristic. So it's like they all deal with different stuff and everything. It's really hard to navigate through the series. I understand. All you need to know, Soul Hackers 2 is kind of a new thing. It's almost like a sequel / reboot for the series. Again, it doesn't really feature anything from the previous game as far as we can tell. It is definitely gonna be one thing to check out. I'm very excited to talk more about the game as the series progresses and everything, but hopefully this at least puts a light on what this game is and isn't, especially with the discourse pertaining to Shin Megami Tensei and Devil Summoner and Soul Hackers and Persona, which I've seen again a lot of comments about it and everything. Hopefully this sheds some light on all of this stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. But before we end this video, I want to thank all the members: Miko, Another Fox, Demicro, H2DK, King Narukami 45, Ida McNeil, and Rising Oblivion. Thank you so much guys for your support. I couldn't make these videos without your help.